My first question for you is obviously regarding Puerto Rico. I mean, you were here for a while. Once you were released for the first time with WWE, you came back to the island and you won the Puerto Rican heavyweight champion at IWA. After that, you went back to WWE. How did wrestling in Puerto Rico help you develop in your career?
So one of the things that I've always thought about Puerto Rican wrestling is that it's one of the most applicable styles to WWE. Like they I feel like they've always understood like what really gets people's emotions, like the emotions involved in wrestling, right? And so like that's that's I love the history of Puerto Rican wrestling and just the history of wrestling in general. And when you watch somebody like Carlos Colón and the what are the most important things to do as, say, like a good guy, right? What are people's aspirations? What do fans want when they look at somebody and they want to cheer them, right? The number one thing is that they're willing to face adversity. You watch Carlos Colón, right? And the way that you know Puerto Rican wrestling for a long time was a lot of like it's a very physical style, a lot of punching, a lot of kicking, and all that kind of stuff. And Carlos Colón's ability to come back from adversity with these monster bad guys, right, who would just do anything. And so that's one of the things that you can learn from wrestling in Puerto Rico is how to fight that way, how to bring out that emotion, how to bring out that emotion from yourself, how to bring out that emotion from the fans. And when Carlos Colón he'd come back from the adversity, and then when he'd start to fire up, like, and you could see his own fire inside of him, right? It becomes a visual display of things that are going on internally. And I think that's why he was such a huge star, is that he could make you feel what he was feeling. And I think that's one of the really cool things about Puerto Rico in a way that it's not the same in every part of the world like that, So anyways, I've always loved following people. Some people put out this like DVD set of like 80s Puerto Rican wrestling, and it became like my favorite thing. It was just like it really helped me learn more about the history of Puerto Rican wrestling and everything like that. It was a lot of fun.
Pausa. Daniel Bryan nos habla de cómo la industria de la lucha libre puertorriqueña cambió su vida y le dio un giro drástico a su carrera. Menciona que la lucha libre puertorriqueña en particular se adapta fácilmente al modelo estadounidense y es uno de los pocos que logra hacerlo específicamente al modelo de la WWE. Bryan menciona que una de las cosas que más le llamó la atención y más lo ayudó fue la habilidad del luchador puertorriqueño, específicamente de Carlos Colón, de vender su historia, de enganchar al público con sus emociones. Tenías estos rudos, grandes, monstruosos todo el tiempo, atacando a Carlos Colón, y Carlos buscaba la manera, dentro de sus capacidades y habilidades físicas, de regresar, y esa manera cuando Carlos volvía y la emoción que él hacía sentir al público era algo que a Bryan particularmente siempre le marcó. En adición, Daniel Bryan nos menciona sobre que la lucha libre puertorriqueña, específicamente la lucha libre puertorriqueña de los 80, se convirtió en algún punto en su cosa favorita del mundo o su lucha libre favorita, y menciona que le tiene un gran respeto a todo lo que es la industria de la lucha libre puertorriqueña.